What is going on, guys? It is the ProdigyCraft here, back with round 10, episode 10 of Formula 1 2024 career mode. Today we are racing in Spain, Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, and we have some new upgrades on the car, so I'm pretty happy with that. We're now just below Aston Martin in the vehicle performance comparison, so we're about halfway up the field. We've got some good upgrades in aerodynamics, and we're going to see how the car feels, because we're going to need as much aero now downforce as possible with the new handling update, with how unstable the rear is. So join me, as it looks like it's going to be a wet qualifying session for the Spanish Grand Prix.
It's a Catalonian qualifying for you today. Welcome along to Spain, to Barcelona, and wherever you are in the world. Do you feel the need for speed?
Right then, here we are for qualifying. Not wet as predicted. It is a dry qualifying, even though it's saying rain Q1, Q2 and Q3. I'm not quite sure. Doesn't look like we've got any rain. It looks absolutely fine to me. So first thing we're going to do is I might go out on a set of medium tyres and see if I can't get through to Q. Or do I do that? No, I'm just going to go out on a set of softs and see where we are at the end of Q1. A 1:13.468 felt like a very, very good lap indeed. So at the end of qualifying 1 then, it is myself P1, Max Verstappen P2, Lando Norris P3, Kevin Magnussen in 13th position. The Haas team really have made some gains. This car is feeling fantastic around this track. Let's see what happens in qualifying 2.
Okay, we seem to be having a few software issues at the moment. Sit tight for a few minutes while we reboot some things, okay?
P12 there. We had a fault at the start of qualifying, which means we couldn't get out on the dry track, meaning that we're coming out in the rain now, and the best lap we could get was for P12, and the car is sliding all over the place. I don't think we're going to make it through to Q3. So at the end of Q2, we have been knocked out in 12th position. We had a electrical fault at the start of the session, meaning we couldn't get out on a dry track. And when we could get out to do our flying lap, the track was just too wet, meaning we will start tomorrow's Grand Prix in 12th position. Hopefully we can go forward from there, but obviously not what I wanted from the team. So let's try and recoup tomorrow. We could have got pole position, I believe. Let's try and regroup tomorrow and get a good race position.
Welcome along, everyone, to sunny Spain, specifically to the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. So many great moments in Formula One history have been written at this very track over the years, including Michael Schumacher's first win for Ferrari back in '96. That win was in the rain. We might have better weather here today, but we're just as overjoyed to be at the Spanish Grand Prix. It's an updated track at Catalonia, and the popular opinion in the paddock is that we never wanted the chicane in the first place. That's now been gone, the final corner is much faster, and at 2.9 miles and 14 turns, we await the Spanish Grand Prix. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Oscar Piastri, Perez, Russell, Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Leclerc, Sainz, Tsunoda, Jackson, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Gasly, Stroll, Albon, Ocon, Joe, Bottas and Logan Sargent. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. And joining me in the commentary box once again, Naomi Schiff. Hi, Gnomes. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, every driver certainly has their own way of preparing themselves before a race. But I can tell you that pre-race rituals are a real thing. When I was in go-karting, I used to touch every wheel in a specific sequence before I got into the kart. And then I stepped up to cars and had a specific set of fireproof base layers just for race day. So watch the drivers when they're on the grid. Some may be sitting on the floor and isolating, others may be up to other things that they do. But these little things really help their minds get ready for the race.
So we have 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And away we go for the Spanish Grand Prix. We're starting P11 out of position here, but we've got a fantastic start. We're going to split the Ferrari and the RB and go to the left-hand side of Alonso. A gap has just opened up for us here. That is perfect as we go round the outside of Russell, but he's staying alongside us here. He's got the inside line now into this corner. Are we going to be able to stay with him? We've got Verstappen ahead in P5. He's arguably out of position. And are we able to stay ahead of Russell? Doesn't look like it here. He's still on our outside there, and we get a bit of oversteer. Run into the back of him nearly as we go up the inside now. And is that position done? It is position gained on George Russell there, and now we are net P6 on the road with Verstappen, our main championship rival, up ahead of us, which seems weird to say considering we're racing in this Haas. And we go a little bit offline now onto the gravel there, and that allows Russell to get up on the back of us, but he isn't able to do anything into the slow turn there, and we are getting on the back of Verstappen as we skip to lap 2 now. We are all over Max Verstappen, who is held up by Lewis Hamilton. Up ahead is once championship contender in 2021, and we're right on the back of him here, but it isn't looking like we're able to do much. A little bit of a DRS train forming here, and we're just going to try and stay with Verstappen as long as we can. Hamilton getting a great position up there in 4th, and it looks like that's Sergio Perez in 3rd position, and we've just let Russell's come storming past us there, and we've gone storming down the inside and gained the position back on him. We're really struggling with the traction on the rear of this Haas, and George Russell is making us pay for it. Look at us, we're all out of shape there as we're coming through the final sector. Near enough flat this circuit round the final bend, and Lando Norris leads the race as there's fighting going up ahead of us. Is that going to allow us to get closer to the back? It is. We're all over Verstappen as they're fighting for position. It's allowing us to close up to this battle. As we skip forward to lap 8 here, it's box this lap, and we're going to try and get the overcut on the cars ahead of us. We're going to see if that works out, but we're coming in behind Max Verstappen on about a 1.8 second gap.
Oh, mate, great stuff. You hit that target. That sets us up nicely for the rest of this race.
Thank you very much, Mark. And we're going to try and get a perfect turn in here. We do it with about 0.3 seconds to spare. If we can get a fast enough stop here, we can maybe get out ahead of Verstappen. And it doesn't look like we're able to, but we're right behind him. We're closer than we were when we started in the pit lane. And we've got Hamilton absolutely gumming down the main straight, and he is side by side of us here, and we move to the inside and we skip over the bumps and we wheel-to-wheel action, bit of wheel clattering there, and we've got the move done on Verstappen. We're going to look to the inside of Hamilton here into this right-hander. Are we able to get the move done? We are! We're able to get the move done. We're ahead of Hamilton here. He's near enough alongside us, but we're able to get the move done, and it's stuck there.
Nice work, mate. That brings you off
Thank you
place.
very much, Mark. We're now in P9, but a lot of cars ahead of us are still yet to stop. You see Sargent now on the soft tyre in 7th position. You just know that that isn't right. Logan Sargent will never be in 7th position here. As we are on lap 10 now, we've got Hamilton, DRS wide open, but he's stuck behind the Red Bull coming out of the pit lane, and we're able to move up the inside of Sergio Perez and get ourselves P3 on the road. Hamilton would have got the overtake done there, but Perez coming out the pit lane hampered him a little bit in the braking zone. He had to brake earlier, and that allowed us to get ahead of not only him, but Sergio Perez. So we've got a podium position coming up here as we're P11, but look at Sergio Perez. He is a charging bull, DRS right, wide open, and he is flew past us there, and Hamilton's looking up our inside there, but we go a little bit later on the brakes, and he's not able to get that move done. He might make a mistake. We did this weekend in Canada. He went backwards into the wall, and we move forward to lap 12 here. Now we've got the DRS. Now Perez is sitting duck. Look at the closing speed. It's like Formula 1 to Formula 2, and we cruise past Sergio Perez, and we're 4 tenths ahead as we go into turn 1. But it looks like it's going to be DRS back and forth as we move over to lap 13 here. I set the fastest lap of the race, but Perez absolutely glides past us again with DRS active there, and there is not a lot we can do about that. Just stick with him to lap 14 till we get the DRS, and we can cruise on back past him on the final straight. And this looks like it's going to be a game of cat and mouse all the way until the checkered flag here, and it is. DRS active again, we dummy him and go to the outside there, and we are way ahead as we go into turn 1. And as I've said, it looks like that's going to be how it is until the end of this race here. Lap 15. Look at Sergio, look at him. ERS deployed, DRS active, and he has flown past us there. We're trying to deploy our battery, but to no avail. But we're going to tuck him behind him, and we're going to see what we can do on lap 16. I don't think we're going to get ahead of him. As we skip forward to lap 17, he's too far ahead. We've got DRS wide open, we're deploying our battery, and unfortunately nothing doing there. We're right behind him, and looks like we're all over the curves. The back end is stepping out, and it is the final lap of the race. Hamilton senses like a shark to blood. He senses there may be an opportunity to pass me here on the final lap, but I ain't letting that happen. Not like what happened in Canada to him. And we're all over the road, we're on the grass there. We're trying to get any time we can to get onto the back of Sergio Perez for the final DRS zone coming after this left and right hander. And I don't think we're close enough to make a move on him. As we sweep round now, the right hander try to take it as full throttle as we can, and he's too far ahead. We get the DRS open. Nothing doing here for me on Sergio Perez, and it looks like we're going to have to settle for P4 on the road, which is not bad considering we started out of position due to the fault we had in qualifying, meaning we got knocked out in Q2. Hamilton is 3 tenths behind, but I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. It's a double McLaren podium. Lando Norris wins, Oscar Piastri P2, and we come home in P4. Not a great race.
Pick up rubber and bring it home.
I messed it up. I could have had him.
Another Spanish Grand Prix is over, and what a special race it was.
What a true show of character to fight through the grid the way they did, to not get beat down by starting so far down, and to come back and win it all. Just goes to show how strong this driver is.
And look at that, they're making their way out onto the podium now. Great race from the McLaren team, and I'm very happy to see them there on that top step of the podium. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
Thank you for joining me for this episode of Formula 1 2024 Career Mode. It was an interesting race. Definitely could have done better there. But what can you do? P4 on the road's not too bad. I'm happy with that. I'm hoping for a win next time out in the Austrian Grand Prix. Until then, peace out.